Hello, 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 everybody. Little Sunday night baseball action happening here. Actually, no baseball, but I figured I would hop on and talk a little bit about the upcoming season, about some of the things that I'm planning for this channel as I approach the opening day. Looks like we got a few people hopping on now. Feel free to say hello, and I will post your comments. Prince Boss says, whoop. Gus says, let's go. How's it going, everybody? Yeah, just getting started here. Gonna wait for everybody to log on. This is kind of a impromptu live stream. I'm actually a little bright here. I'm gonna turn off one of my lights here. Not that one. Yeah, that's not so bad. So I'm actually not using my new camera. I'm using the webcam. All right, so let's talk a little bit. The main reason I want to stream tonight, I'm closing in on 9,000. I need, I think 7 more people to get to 9,000 subs. And I remember when I started this thing up last year, the objective was, once I got monetized, to save enough money to buy a lawnmower. And this thing has far outpaced anything that I could have imagined. It's become huge. According to Social Blade, we're the most viewed Yankees podcast. I don't know if that'll last because Talking Yanks has more subscribers and all that stuff, so they'll probably grow at a faster pace. But we're going to be up there. We're going to be in the conversation, so that's good. So thanks to everybody who's part of the community. Klubot, Corey Kluber. I posted a video a little while ago. Corey Kluber looks, free and easy. I noticed that he looks fit and trim. Like, he doesn't look like a 35-year-old. He doesn't look like 35-year-olds I know. But he looks fantastic. Garrett Smith says Glaber's going to hit over 300 this year. I don't think batting average matters that much anyway. But, it'd be nice. We'll see. Gus says this channel is the professional good version of Mets fans only. I don't know Mets fans only because I'm not a Mets fan. And it's clearly for Mets fans only. But yeah, Corey Kluber looked good. I'm looking forward to seeing Tyone in a side session. The Yankees have got this new building. I don't know if you guys have heard about it, but they used to film all of their, the writers used to film all of the workouts in like behind a chain link fence, right? And there's like a bullpen where they had like a bunch of mounds, and they would film these guys throwing. You saw it every year, everybody next to each other. But this year, everybody's in this new building. It's called the Gas Station. And it's got all these Edgertronic devices. An Edgertronic is a high-speed camera that's meant to record like every little detail about the way a ball comes out of your hand. I don't have my baseball. I usually have my baseball during these things. It's way back there. Christopher Durazio says, is Kluber going to pitch this spring? Yeah, we might see him next week. I think spring training games begin a week from today, maybe a week from yesterday. So, we're going to have position players arriving this week. They get a few days of reps and BP, and then we get games going. Eric Siskel says, hey, D, what's up, Eric? So, yeah, I started a new series today that I'm really excited about. It's something that came to me at kind of an impromptu moment. I've been thinking about doing more content that has a longer shelf life because, I do the top 5 lists and I do the ranked, top 9s or whatever. Spring starts January 28th. No, that's in the past. You must mean February 28th. That's a week from today. So, anyway, I started doing these videos called History of the Yankees. And it's basically 2 to 3 minute videos on short topics that I find really interesting about the Yankees past. So today I did how the Yankees got their logo, and I did what was the other one? I did the facial hair policy. I accidentally shaved too much, so I mentioned this on Patrick's stream the other night. It's that I have an electric razor, and it has like different settings for how long you want to make your beard, and I accidentally had it set too short, and I went, and it was just like this streak. And so I had to shave the whole thing. And so now that's one of the reasons I haven't been on camera much the last couple of days, because I don't like the way I look without a beard anymore. I look like some kind of mutant, like that worm monster from X-Files Season 1. So, these History of the Yankees, I did Billy Martin, who got fired 5 times and managed the Yankees 5 times. But I'm going to be doing more of these. So I've got a few of them written down. And if I could just find where I put my... Oh, it doesn't matter. Tomorrow I'm going to try and do, before work starts, I can rattle these things off pretty quickly. So I'm going to try and do every Yankees MVP ever, and then every Yankees Cy Young winner ever. So those are going to be the two big ones. And then from there, I want to do some other pieces. I want to do rookie seasons. I might do Aaron Judge, Derek Jeter, Rookie of the Year type things. And then just some other interesting moments. I want to do 61 and 61, what you're seeing on the screen there for a second. I want to do a little, 3 minutes about that chase, just so that people have something to binge when there's no baseball going on. That's the whole reason I did the top 5 list, but I feel like people have watched their way through those, and my skills have gotten a lot better with video making since I started doing those. So my plan is to just do probably, I don't know, like 50 of these History of the Yankees videos and just have them in my playlist to create what's called evergreen topics. Topics that are always fresh, that are always good. Garrett Smith says World Series MVP. I'm assuming you're a Yankees fan, so I don't know. Let's say that guy. Let's say Luke Voit. I like Luke Voit. You should do some live Yankees cahoots in the future, mate. I don't know what cahoots is. Somebody explain to me what cahoots is. One thing that I am doing live on Wednesday night, Patrick Hennessy will be on, and we're going to do a live version of 643DP. I've got another version of my live streaming platform. So I've actually got 2 live streaming platforms. The main platform is up right now, but then I have a secondary web-based platform where I can bring in guests. And the whole point is going to be to have people on to, have conversations, but also to do live watch parties where we get a couple people on watching the game and talking about it. And for, if there's a big time pitcher coming on, like, Davey Garcia made his debut last year, let's say Clark Schmidt gets a start. I might have my buddy Tom come on, who's a big pitching fan, understands the intricacies of pitching, and we can watch and break things down. It doesn't have all the cool whiz bang of the tablet with the highlight reels that you're seeing right now, but yeah, it's gonna be fun. Is the newest hot take video already made? No, I have not made another hot take video recently. The MLB hot takes. I have several different categories of video that I do. A preview with Miguel Cabrera. Miguel Cabrera is not on the Yankees. I'm not interested in Miguel Cabrera. Cahoots is a platform for making your own trivia questions. That'd be interesting. I actually used to write the trivia questions for the World Tavern Trivia National Championship. So I'm good at trivia questions. All right, yeah, I'll do Kahoot. I'll do a Kahoot. That'll be fun. Maybe we can do a watch party Kahoot. Put trivia questions up each inning, and then maybe have a champion each inning, and then maybe whoever has the highest score at the end of the game gets a prize, like a hoodie or something like that. That'll be fun. So yeah, I want to go through this season's format. I'm going to be doing a lot more live streaming. I'm going to be doing a lot of watch parties, probably at least 1 or 2 per week. I'm going to be doing post-game live streams just like this where I get on and react, and each game I'll have a different, piece about, what went on during the game, the stats from the game, and I'll give my take on that. We'll go look at highlights, but I can't do extended highlights, so that'll be fun. But I'm also going to be doing pregame shows each morning. So I get up at like 5:30 or 6 in the morning, and I work on this channel for a few hours every day before work starts. That's how I've grown so fast. And, that's what I've been working on. And so I develop a lot of graphics in Photoshop, and then I bring them into this device. And then I have 4 or 5 different templates on my Final Cut Pro for different types of videos. I have the top 5s. I have the super fast upload. So if you watched the Corey Kluber video today, that's a super fast upload that I just grab the video and I can get it up in like 10 minutes. And then I have some that are, a little bit more formal, which are like the player previews you've been watching. Those take a little bit longer, but they're not as hard. I pre-built the template, so all I need to do is it's very formulaic. That's kind of the key to this whole thing. And then I have the extended podcast version, which is like, I have actually 2 versions of that. I have one if I have a guest, where we have like the tablet up in the screen and all that stuff. And then I have one where I'm individual. That's kind of the biggest task that I have to make. where it's basically, you know, it's basically every topic that I want to write, I got to create like a different graphic for that and stuff like that. So those are the different templates you'll see this season. I'll give you a quick glimpse at the watch party here. Here's the watch party. This is the watch party for 2021. I've showed this off in a previous stream. Okay, so let's get back to the live stream. Answer some questions now that we got 30 people on here. Do you have a sports background? I played sports. I played baseball for over 30 years. I played semi-pro. I've been playing baseball a long time. My arm gave out. Let's see. History of the first round draft picks of the Yankees. That could be a good one. But I would want to do maybe draft picks by decade. I can't do all 30 draft picks in one video because then it's not like a short little video. But maybe I could do like all the draft picks from 2000 to 2010 and 2010 through 2019, something like that. That could be fun. Somebody says, what player are you most worried about this season? I'm worried about Gary's glove more than his bat. I agree with you 100%. I think Gary will hit for power because he always hits for power. I don't ever see him being like a 270, 280 guy. I think he's going to be a 220, 230 hitter, which I can live with. I just can't live with 147 and bad defense. If you're going to play bad defense, you got to hit a little bit and make up for it with your bat. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about, I just picked up an Oculus Quest 2. I don't know if anybody has the Oculus Quest, but I picked up the Oculus Quest 2, and I've been playing a lot of Topgolf. And if anybody wants to play, I noticed that it's dead. Like, it's the most fun game I've ever played. You get in there, and it's got the actual Topgolf arena where you have all the bullseyes and stuff, and you can hit stuff to the trenches, and you got different clubs that you can sort through. And I went on there and played, and I did the multiplayer, and there's nobody on there. There's some people, but you got room for like 10 people per game, and there's usually like 2 or 3 people. So if you have an actual Oculus Quest, and I realize finances are tough for a lot of people right now, but hit me up on there. The name is NYY Recaps on Topgolf. So fire it up. Let's see. Melanie Simon says, do you play MLB The Show? I've been playing MLB The Show since 1996 when it was called MLB Pennant Race, and David Justice was on the cover back when he was with the Braves. I've been playing MLB for the longest time. I'm really excited about this year's game. Comes out on April 20th. I think there's an earlier version that comes out 4 or 5 days before that. It's the Jackie Robinson Digital. I'm trying to get my hands on a PS5. I cannot find a PS5 for the life of me. I've been working to find, I've got all these different alert systems going. I'm not going to pay a scalper for one, but I do have alerts from like Target, Best Buy, Walmart. I've got a Twitter alert. And every time that I find one that's in stock, it's out of stock by the time I get to checkout. Excuse me. So I'm a big player of MLB The Show. I always play a franchise. If you did not get hurt, do you think it would be an MLB? No, not even close. I didn't get hurt till I was 25. Stanton, best hitter. He definitely hits it harder than anybody else in the lineup. He's got more power than probably anybody else. Do you use After Effects for your editing? No, I do not. I do not use After Effects. I use Final Cut Pro. Carl Torchia says, I'm worried about the Blue Jays. Thoughts? I think the Blue Jays are going to be tough. I don't think they have the pitching to match up with the Yankees. There's my dog, Cece, in the background. I don't think they have the pitching to match up with the Yankees. But I do think that they got some offense, so if the Yankees don't bring their A game on the mound, that it could be trouble. I'm always a little bit worried about the Rays, even though they've lost a little bit of strength, because the Rays, they find a way. They've got this crazy bullpen. They're really good at using analytics. They've got this young guy, Wander Franco. I don't know if you know about Wander Franco, but look him up because he's basically like a switch-hitting Fernando Tatis. He's incredible. Who do you think the next coach of the Yankees is going to be if and when Boone is gone? So Brian Cashman said recently that he wants 10 more years of Aaron Boone. So, I don't know. I would like to see Don Mattingly come back. He's obviously with the Marlins, so he would need to end his tenure with the Marlins there first, but I think he would be fantastic. He won Manager of the Year in 2016. He's good at motivating young guys. How many games will Gardy play this year? That's a tough question because, you're looking at injuries. Hicks is definitely going to have a 2 or 4 week thing in the middle of the season like he always does. So Gardner will start in center during that point. He's probably going to start against some righties to give Clint a day off. When Judge gets a day off and goes to DH or sits the bench, Clint Frazier's probably going to go to right field, which allows you to play Gardner in left field. So I think Gardner's probably going to start maybe 80 games, and then he'll come in for defense in another 20 to 30 games. So I think he'll be in probably 110, 120 games. Why didn't the Yankees go after Joc Pederson instead of re-signing Gardner? He went to the Cubs for relatively cheap, don't you think? I think the Yankees don't like something about Joc Pederson. I'm not sure what it is, but I haven't really heard much interest from them. He seems like a guy with a really long swing and a guy who's going to swing and miss a lot. And I know that Gardner, is a little bit better at a contact. So my guess is they're probably not going to show any interest in Joc Pederson in the future. Hot take, CC Sabathia becomes Yankees manager. I don't know if manager is the right job for him, but I could see him as a pitching coach. Manager is typically a guy who has played on offense and understands base running and things like that. CC Sabathia was just a monster of a human being who could throw really, really hard. Nikki Cha says, how realistic is it to expect 140 games from Stanton and Judge? Maybe combined. No. So that's one of the questions that I have for Patrick on Wednesday night show is we're going to do an over-under of 240 games combined for those guys. So that would be 120 games each. I think 120 games each is probably about what you can expect, hopefully. I think it was a shame last year what happened. I don't think that with, the yoga and stuff, I don't think there's going to be as many muscle pulls. But we'll see. Who's going to win the AL West? That's a great question. I like the A's, man. I really like the A's. I think the Angels are underrated. They've got Ohtani for a full season now and Mike Trout, but they still don't have a lot of pitching. But I like the A's because they figure out a way to get it done. And they just signed a big reliever. I can't remember who it was. Boone gets way too much hate. I agree with you. All right, I'm going to scroll down because I'm way behind. Let's see. World Series Game 7. Cole already pitched in Game 6 the day before. Who are you starting? Well, really it depends on a lot of factors. It depends. That's not an easy question because it depends on the lineup that you're facing. If you're facing the Dodgers, you're going to want somebody who matches up well against the Dodgers. If you're facing the Padres, you're going to want somebody who matches up well against the Padres. And I think the Padres are going to be really good this year. I think the guy that I trust the most right now would be either Jordan Montgomery, who pitched well against the Rays for 4 innings in Game 4. That was basically the same situation, a do or die. I think Corey Kluber, if he's healthy, could be the guy. And we're yet to see Luis Severino, how he's going to look. So, all those guys would be pretty interesting. Let's see. Could you see A-Rod managing the Red Sox? Not in this world. Not in this lifetime. Ichiro as outfield coach. I don't think Ichiro... First of all, the Yankees don't really have an outfield coach, I don't think. I don't think they have a dedicated outfield coach. And once you get to the big leagues, you pretty much know how to play outfield. I'm sure they have somebody who works with guys like Clint Frazier and stuff, like Marcus Timms and stuff like that. But, I'm not really sure who's the outfield coach. That's a interesting comment. I'd like to see Ichiro as a strength and conditioning coach because he knew how to stay healthy. Anthony Ciarletta says Clint Frazier will win American League MVP. I don't know about that. I think Clint Frazier can be an all-star. I don't see MVP. I mean, there's just too many good players. He's not better than Mike Trout. He's not better than Aaron Judge. He's not better than a number of guys. The guy from the White Sox who won the or came second in the batting championship last year. What is the future for Andujar? I think his future's with somebody else. I think the Yankees are going to try and get his value back up, and then they're going to move him. Otherwise, if somebody gets hurt, I think you could see him at first base and third base this year. Were you a baseball player? I was, but not in the major leagues. Let's see. Who do you think is the most slept-on player for the Yankees? I'm assuming you mean underrated. I'm not familiar with all the kids' vernacular these days. Let's say most underrated, probably Aaron Hicks. Even though he gets hurt a lot, he brings a lot of value. I also think that Luke Voit is somewhat underrated because around the league, people just don't respect Luke Voit. He doesn't come up in conversation when I'm talking to other fans as being a great hitter, but he's amazing. But Yankees fans, we appreciate him. Let's see. What is the 40 man? Well, that's to be determined after spring training. Right now, I think they need to clear a spot for Justin Wilson. He was affected by the snowstorm in Texas. He lives in Texas. So last I heard, he was out. He was without power and without a way to get to New York. Paul O'Neill's hitting coach. I like Paul O'Neill. Not enough water coolers to make it through the year. So Paul O'Neill would be a great coach, but I don't think he wants to be a coach. You know, he likes his job as a part-time announcer. It's a grind to get out there and travel. And when you have millions of dollars and you have a happy wife and you like to go golfing every day and, you know, just kind of hang out with your kids and your grandkids. Hard to believe he's got grandkids now, but I think that Paul O'Neill is happy doing what he's doing, making a little side hustle doing broadcasting. I think he would make a good instructor, but again, he's just somebody who doesn't want to do it. Hope we can get that classic Dodgers-Yankees World Series. Honestly, I'm more scared of the Padres. I think the Padres... Actually, you know what? Trevor Bauer. I forgot Trevor Bauer. Yeah, Dodgers are going to be really good. I think that would be a tough one. I look up Wander Franco next year. Not this was above A ball. Okay. Last I heard, he was getting ready to be called up last season. You know, because he's that good. So I think we'll see. Lori says the history of the Yankees vids today were first read. I talked about that earlier. I wanted to get some ideas for some new pieces. I'm going to do MVPs, Yankees MVPs. I'm going to do Yankees Cy Young Awards, Yankees Rookie of the Year Awards. I'm going to do players who've died for the Yankees, like during their career. There's 3 of them. And then there's Lou Gehrig, who died from an illness that he suffered. I just think that'll, be an interesting topic. And then I'm probably going to do, some other ones that you guys suggest, so we'll see how it goes. Will Jason Dominguez be called up this year? No, he will not. Probably not until 2022 September would be my guess. I had Eric Hubbs on the other day, and he said 2023, 2024. I disagree. I just flat out disagree with that. I just think he's too good. I think you'll see him next year. I don't think you'll see him this year at 18, but honestly, from the things I'm hearing about this kid hitting 117 mile an hour exit velocity pitches recently, wow. Let's see. Thoughts on Kyle Higashioka? I think he's a good backup. I think he's really good defensively. He's got a little bit of pop. He doesn't draw enough walks. He's got a good arm. I think he's the perfect backup. Let's see. Do you think Dominguez has a shot to get called up by 19 like Juan Soto did? I do. I think Juan Soto is pretty much a very good model for Jason Dominguez because they're both the same type of player, except Jason Dominguez might need more at-bats because he's a switch hitter. So you want to get a certain amount of bats from each side of the plate. You want to see how he does against minor league competition. But look, I'm just going to throw this out there. Let's say August of this year comes around and Jason Dominguez has played an A-ball and he's dominated A-ball. And let's say he's hitting 330, 340 with 8 or 9 home runs in Double-A. You might have to do it. You might have to call him up for September. Again, that's a long shot. That's a very long shot. Don't get your hopes up. He did just turn 18. So I think he's going to arrive when he's 19 like Juan Soto. How many games do you think the Yankees will win? I've got him down for 99 this year. That's my guess. Gary Sanchez is going to hit 300. No, but he might weigh 300. My picks for team awards might shock you. Clint Frazier's, and then Cy Young student Cole Monty. Yeah, I think that could be good. And then Gleyber Torres as comeback player of the year. That doesn't shock me. That's the exact same trio that I picked last night when I was on with Patrick on his podcast. By the way, in case you missed it, I'm going to be doing a live show with Patrick, 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. Go ahead and put it in your little Siri or calendar or whatever it is you do. By then, we should be over 9,000. So we'll see. Is Mike Trout going to get traded to the Yankees? Not a chance. Not a chance. Mike Trout will never get traded. What if Judge and Stanton's new workout regimens keep them healthy this season? What does that mean for the Yankees season and for all MLB workout regimens going forward? Really, I mean, that's a really good call. Eric Cressey is supposed to be one of the leading experts, basically, in sports performance medicine. Hang on just a second. And so I feel like if Judge and Stanton are able to put together a healthy healthy season and stay on the field like, let's say, 130 or 140 games each and have monster years, I think you're going to see a lot of the bigger, stronger guys back off the weights and go towards, go back towards. Somebody's laughing, but I don't know what they're laughing on because there's a delay. But I think you might see people go backwards and start doing more yoga. Will you do live streams? I will be doing live streams. I'm going to be doing live streams after every single Yankees game, except for the ones where I do a live stream for the entire game. Those will be watch parties. I'm going to give you a quick look at that to Wambag Doodle. This is what the live stream is going to look like. I'll basically be here, and then as people ask questions, they'll be dumped right up here. Unfortunately, when I switch back and forth, like the comments stay in the right place, so it'll be kind of like this. And then I've got this loop that basically plays the entire time. So that's what our live stream watch parties are going to look like. All right, let's see. What else? What percentage chance do you think we have at winning the title this year? I mean, it's hard to really give a percentage chance. First of all, I'm not a mathematician. But I'd say at minimum, 1 in 30, because there's 30 teams and you're going to be one of those 30. Now, it gets better than that because, there's certain teams that are just not going to make the playoffs. The Orioles are not going to make the playoffs. Red Sox are not going to make the playoffs. I'd put it at maybe 4-1, so what's that? 20% or 25%? I don't know. I don't math. I'm good at art. I don't do math. Did position players report today? I think they report Monday. I could be wrong on that. I haven't seen any position players. There were a lot of guys already there. What will Judge get paid? I've seen the Yankees are supposedly talking about an extension with him. If I'm the Yankees, I would give him a 6-year deal right now at about 20 per. I think he would take it to get security because, he's been injured a lot. You don't want to pay too much, but it would be worth it to lock him up long term. But he's older, so you're not going to give him a 10-year contract. I think he's 29 this year. Let's see. Let me scroll down a little bit. How long do you think Boone will last as manager? Really depends on what happens this year. Brian Cashman said he wants 10 years of Boone. We'll see. William Velasquez says, how many home runs do you think the Yankees will hit since the ball is less juices? I think you mean less juiced. So I saw that report that Major League Baseball is looking to deaden the ball a little bit. I'm not convinced that that's actually going to happen because it seems like they say that every year. One thing to think about is a lot of the balls are produced in Haiti by people in sweatshops, basically. And the hotter it gets, the tighter the balls get wound because people are uncomfortable. So that could be a reason that balls have been getting more juiced. Is you can, like everything else, you can blame it on it getting hotter. So that's just a weird thing. First full team practice is tomorrow. Boom. Let's get the Would you do a Jeter history as part of your history series? So I am going to do one on rookies of the year, so I'll mention Jeter in that. How old is Jeter? How old is Judge? Isn't he like 29? I think he's 29. He might be 28. I can't remember. He's getting up there near 30. When you're between 28 and 30, that's your window to stay healthy. So he needs to stay healthy. There, Judge is 28. Okay. Garrett Cole is not going to lose till June. That's a pretty good take. I would take that. THG says he was doing some homework. This is my mod, people. So yeah, we're just doing a little live stream to get to 9,000. Let's see where we're at. We've been going for coming up on 30 minutes now. Let's see how many we're at now. We are at 8,999. 8,009. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to share this and figure out how to do it. We are at 8,999. Incredible. One short of 9,000. So thanks to everybody who's doing that. Munson or Sanchez? Munson by far. More wins, Monty or Kluber? Ooh, that's a tough one. I'm taking Monty. I think Monty's going to get 16 wins. I think Corey Kluber isn't going to pitch enough to get 16 wins. I think of the two, Jameson Taillon is my pick to do a little bit better. I like his arm motion. How many home runs do you think Cole give up in a 162 game season? I don't know, somewhere like 25 maybe. That's about what he usually gives up, right? I'm not looking at his stats. What did he give up last year? It's hard. Well, it's hard to say what he gave up last year because it was such a short year. I want to say 25. I think he gives up 25 home runs. He gives up a lot of home runs because he throws a hard fastball. So if you square that up, comes in hard, goes out hard. So what? All right, so Yankees Fan Adventures, my 9,000th subscriber. And with that, the countdown is complete. It is official. 9,000. Thank you. It won't show up on your end for a second, but it's showing up on my end. Thank you to everybody who's joined this. Who will have a better team, Yankees or Mets? I'm taking the Yankees. I think the Mets have, a really strong team this year, but I feel like the Mets are, I don't know. There's just a certain je ne sais quoi that just doesn't. I just don't feel like they're a winning team to the level that the Yankees are. I think the Mets are going to be good, and I think they would have been a lot better if they signed Bauer. They did get James McCann. They've got Alonso. I think they've still got Jeff McNeil. I don't remember who's playing center field for them. But, the Mets are going to be pretty good, but I think the Yankees are going to be better. You notice how Kluber licks his fingers after every pitch? It's beyond gross. I don't know why he has to do that so often. Fun fact, Tiger style, I used to do the same thing, and my parents used to get on me about it because they thought I was going to get sick. The reason I did it, and I didn't realize at the time because I didn't know what lotion was. I didn't use lotion when I was younger. My skin would get really dry, and you need a little bit of moisture on your hands when you're throwing, field pitches. If you're throwing something like a slider, curveball, and you really want to get those pads of your fingertips, you want to get that really good tactile sensation. I don't have my baseball. I feel naked without my baseball, but I used to, that. And also my ears would get really dry, so I'd lick and then wipe my ears. And then after the game, my hands and my ears and my mouth would all be dirty. It would be gross. But, now it's a quick stream to 10K. We'll see. I'm going to be doing a stream on Wednesday night. We'll see. The Yankees bullpen is much better than the Mets bullpen. I'll give you that. I just saw, let's see. Cole gave up 31 home runs in 2017 and 14 last year. Yeah, so 14 over 60 games is that's 28 over 120 games. Yeah, he's probably going to be around 30. Yeah, I'd say that. So I underestimated a little bit. Good research there. Hey, sub hype, appreciate it. I need to get. I need to start using my sounds more. That's going to be the sub hype. All right. So this is a word to. This is shout out to THD Wicked Cow. This is the sub horn. Who's your favorite Yankee of all time? That would be Donnie Baseball, Don Mattingly. When I grew up, he was really coming out of his heyday around the time I really started getting into baseball, and I was like 6 or 7 years old. That was like 1989. But I was, in full form in 1995 when he had his only playoff game, hit that home run in Game 2 against the Mariners. Big fan of Bernie, too, also. Big fan of Bernie. Uh-oh, sub hype. THG, it's going to be on you to make sure I use these sound effects more during my live streams this season. William Velasquez says Bernie is manager. I don't think Bernie wants to be a manager. Bernie hasn't really had any involvement in baseball. Bernie's an artist. Bernie's passion right now is creating beautiful music. If you have a chance to pick up some of Bernie's albums or to listen to them on your Echo, I'm not going to say her name because she'll go off. But, check it out. What gave Jason Dominguez the name Jason? So his dad named him after Jason Giambi, but they just spelled it with an extra S for some reason. But he was named after Jason Giambi, which makes me feel really old because I remember when the Yankees signed Jason Giambi, which reminds me I need to watch Moneyball. Every year in February, I watch baseball movies. One of my favorite trips ever was a few years ago. I went to the Yankees spring training complex with my buddy Mickey Croft. You may have seen him. He's the guy who caught Verlander. He was on one of my podcasts. And I took the train down from North Carolina, and I watched Moneyball on the train, and that was just so much fun. I'm down with this channel. I'm down with you. Appreciate it, everybody. Saw Mattingly's 6th season slam behind home plate. Oh, my goodness. That was a legendary home run. He hit it way up in the upper deck, if I recall. So, yeah. Friday the 13th. Is that this week? No, Friday the 13th. Wait. No, it's the 21st. What is that coming? I must be lost on that one. How many games would Gardner start? I said earlier, maybe like 80, 80, 90. Are you going to the All-Star game in Atlanta? I'd like to. I'm hoping that this year, if I have 10,000 subscribers by opening day, I think I might be able to get a press pass. And I'm trying to get a press pass to like the Field of Dreams game. I want to go to Yankee Stadium a few times. I wrote to the guys over at John Boy Media to see if they wanted to collaborate on a project too, and they never got back to me. But I had an idea for, since they're right there by Yankee Stadium, I thought maybe we could work together on something. But maybe some other time. But I would like to get to more games. Let's see. I can't remember. Did the Yankees ever play in Field of Dreams? No, they had to cancel it because of COVID, but it's supposed to happen on August 13th of this year. Let's see if we can find a picture of the Field of Dreams part. Let's see what we can find here. I don't see anything other than all I see is this. This is just a picture of the actual movie field. I know that they were building an actual stadium. Let's see if there's something. I know that there was a website for it. This might be it. Here we go. So I don't know if you guys can see that very well, but there's some stands right around the ring of the ballpark, and then it looks like they have the cornfield, but I don't know what kind of wall they have. It looks like they must have some kind of a wall. It's just not going to be the same if it's just corn, because every time that somebody hits a ground ball that goes to the wall, it's going to be a ground rule double because it's going to go deep into the corn. Be picked up by the children of the corn. This is confusing me because I've got a mouse on 2 different screens, and it's freaking me out. Kind of wigging me out a little bit. Torres or Voit, who has the better year? Oh, that's going to be tough. I think that they're both going to have great years. It's going to be subjective. I'm going to say that Luke Voit has more home runs, but overall, a higher WAR goes to Gleyber Torres. I think Gleyber's going to have a decent year on defense, too. I agree. I would love to collab with John Boy. I would love to collab with them. I wrote to them. Hey, I think they're busy. They're trying to make a big company. I think Talking Yanks is just a small portion of their company. But I'm just an independent streamer. I'm never going to work for somebody else again. Like I work for a big company. I do fine. But when I finally make enough where this can be a full-time gig, hopefully in a couple of years, then I'll probably just do this for myself and just do probably like a long podcast every day. My goal with this channel when I first started was just to have like a side hustle. I mentioned earlier that I wanted to buy a lawnmower. I wanted to get like an electric lawnmower. That was my monetary goal for this channel. But now it's doing like pretty decent money, not a ton, not enough that you can live on, but enough that I could have lived on when I was like, 22, 23. And I think if I keep it up for a couple years, Social Blade projects me to be at 56,000 followers by this time next year. And then I would say maybe a year after that, maybe 100, 150,000. Once you get up around that range, you can really make it a full-time gig because you can get sponsorships and stuff. And that's kind of what I'm going for now. My goal now is to become the Joe Rogan of baseball without the, dumb opinions. I want to be able to have really interesting guests on and talk baseball, not just athletes, but like human beings. I want to have Charlie Sheen on and talk to him about, what it was like to be in the movie Major League. I want to talk to Bob Costas. I want to talk to guys like that. And I want to talk about more than just baseball. I want to talk about life. I want to talk about, what keeps them up at night. What type of things they're interested in. Baseball, movies, things like that. I saw this got smaller, so I'm going to make this bigger again. Any predictions on the number of strikeouts Gary will have? Probably too many. I think he's going to have over 150 if he plays all season. Are you into any other New York sports teams? Honestly, I grew up and I put all my focus into the Yankees So the Yankees are pretty much the only sport that I really follow. I follow boxing and I follow UFC. I like those two sports. I honestly like golf, but I don't follow it very closely. I don't like watching golf, but I like to watch like the final round, the final couple of holes of the final round if it's close. I just enjoy seeing, the difficult game that these guys can play and play at such a high level. So, Wambag Doodle says have other streamers on. That's going to happen on Wednesday night. In case you missed it, on Wednesday night, I will be having Patrick Hennessy on for a live episode of 643 DP. Let's take a look here at the subs total now. So we're back down to 8999. So we lost somebody. Anyway, let's see. Does Gary decrease his strikeout percentage? I can see him decreasing his strikeout percentage. It's all going to be about his approach, right? I mean, with 2 strikes, you've got to shorten up. You got to put the ball in play. You can't take that home run approach every single time. So, all right, guys, we're at about 40 minutes. I'm going to call it a night. I appreciate everybody joining. I just wanted to hop on here and do a little bit of streaming. I forgot to monetize this one. Damn it. All right, I'll see you guys later.